Euthanasia is a process of intentionally ending a life of someone to relieve their pain and suffering. There is a few types of euthanasia. The first one is active. Active is when people directly or indirectly causes the death of the patient with intention to make sure them die. The second one is passive. Passive happen when the death of patient is not taken directly, but the patient is allowed to die with intention. For the passive euthanasia, there is two types of passive euthanasia. The first one is withdrawing treatment. This is happen when the action was taken immediately to make sure the patient will die immediately. For the example, the life machine will be switched off, so the patient will die after the life machine was switched off. The second one for passive euthanasia is withholding. Withholding happened when the life of patient was extended for a little more time. This is happened when the patient did not get their medicine, so they will die slowly because they do not have their medicine. The next type of euthanasia is voluntary. The process of ending patient's life is happen with the knowledge of patient. This is mean the patient will know the action will take by the staff medical will causes their death. Okay, the next one is involuntary euthanasia. This is happen when the death of patient without the patient consent. Basically, this is the decision is come from the family or by the staff medical. The last type of euthanasia is assisted suicide. This is happen when the patient have wishes or dream to die, so they will take the help from drug or commit suicide to make their dream to come true.
Okay, Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Atira Aiza and I'll be talking about the historical aspects of euthanasia. Euthanasia is derived from Greek word which is euthanos and the meaning is good death. Okay, back in 19th century, euthanasia have already become a debatable issue because it invades other people's right. Okay. There are two views regarding the issue of euthanasia. First, the one who support the act of euthanasia and the one who oppose it. Okay, first of all, the support group. The support group claim that by ending the patient's life, it is an act of mercy towards them because it helps them to be released from the sufferings, especially in dire situations. Okay, Thomas More, a pioneer of euthanasia support group, said that when patients suffer from incurable disease or struggle, the doctors should advise them to end their life as an act of mercy. Okay, on the other hand, the opposed group said that the practice of euthanasia, especially by medical doctors, is considered irrelevant because these medical doctors should be the one who should prioritize and save lives at the first place. Okay, and then the practice of euthanasia also contradict with Islamic teachings because it is viewed as man surpassing God's power. Okay. Back to the historical aspect, the issue of euthanasia became intense in 1939 during Nazi's reign. This is because a euthanasia-based program called Action 34 was conducted. This program said that the lives of physical as well as mental disabled children and elderly are considered as unworthy of living. Okay. Thus, they were transported to 6 killing centers across Germany and Austria for their lives to be ended. Okay, what's saddening is that the cruel action is accepted and they considered it as mercy killing. Okay, this practice, the Action 34, is highly contradict with Islamic teaching, because Islam teaches us to value lives and focus more on vulnerable lives, such as children and elderly, although they possess any kinds of defects. Okay, even in psychology point of view, this action surpasses our superego. Superego is our moral beliefs and judgment that innate in our hearts, that we obtain from our environment and surrounding. Okay, this superego help us to govern our behavior morally and make us become a better person. With that, I ended my presentation and proceed to the next presenter.
Despite on many arguments and debates about the legality of euthanasia, there are several countries that legalize euthanasia. Some of the nations approve both passive and active euthanasia, but many others only approve passive euthanasia. In Netherlands, euthanasia is permissible for anyone from the age of 12 and above. The person must suffer from terminally ill and suffer from disease which cause unbearable pain. But the approval of euthanasia must get consent from the patient, and doctor must judge the case before giving approval. In Belgium, anyone can apply for euthanasia, including children, but they must be getting consent from the patient, parents, and with mental awareness. In Belgium, the euthanasia can be carried out with the doctor need to be side of the patient, despite only giving prescripting lethal drug. In Switzerland, euthanasia only in Switzerland and Germany, active euthanasia is illegal, but in Germany, passive euthanasia is allowed, as long as the patient does not get any help from the doctor. And in Switzerland, euthanasia is allowed as long as there are no self-seeking motive. Luxembourg allow patient with terminal ill and suffer to death without any beyond any medical help to undergo passive euthanasia with approval from expert and two doctors to perform the procedure. In US, there are 8 countries. US euthanasia is illegal. Only 8 countries approve euthanasia, namely Oregon, Washington, Montana, and California, and some others. Okay, in US, the patient must be terminally ill and suffer to death, and to undergo euthanasia, the person must give consent by providing 2 verbal requests and 1 writing. In Japan, there are 3 conditions for the patient to undergo euthanasia. First, the person must be in the final stage of the disease. Second, doctor must get clear consent from the patient to undergo the process. And third, euthanasia can be carried out only by stopping treatment like dialysis, chemotherapy, prohibit killing or taking another people's life or our own lives, because life is sacred. It is given and granted by Allah SWT. Then only Allah SWT have the right to take our life. Like in this Surah Isra verses 33, do not take life which Allah has made sacred other than in the cause of justice. Hardship and suffering from disease is the test from Allah SWT for human to grant him with paradise. Therefore, human needs to be patient on the challenge that Allah SWT giving to them. It is the responsibility of doctor and government to use any necessary means to cure as treatment for the patient. Under Islam medical code of ethics, it is prohibited to take the patient life, because it is Allah's rights to take the patient life. There might be a miracle for the patient to be recovered from the disease. During the Prophet time, a lot of Sahaba are injured from the war, but they not even try to end their life with a suicide. Therefore, it clearly Islam prohibited euthanasia.
In Malaysia, there is no specific set of regulation or laws regards to action of euthanasia. So, the action of euthanasia categorized into two, which is active euthanasia and also passive euthanasia. So, in active euthanasia, some of the laws that have to be referred in the Malaysian Penal Code, especially in Section 300, Section 90, and Section 308, 309, and 306. So Section 300 Penal Code is about the action of murder or culpable homicide from a doctor to a patient, and in this section it explains about some requirements that can make the doctor be found as guilty in conducting euthanasia as act of killing, and also killed to her patients or his patients. And Section 90 is about active voluntary euthanasia, which is involves the concerns of the victims or concerns of the patients, and it also can be considered as a crime of culpable homicide. And the Section 308, 309, 306, if it fails to end patient's life, also would be considered as a crime or criminal offence. And the second one, passive euthanasia, will happen if the doctor acts to discontinue or withhold the life of sustained treatment from the terminally ill patients. For example, in Section 299, which more concerns on illegal omissions, that also explains how the illegal omission or how the act is categorized as illegal omissions. And also Section 299 also will explain about withdrawal and withholding of a treatment that will amount to criminal offence under Section 299. So basically there is no specific legal laws or regulations about action of euthanasia in Malaysia, but we have several penal codes that can be referred regarding to this case of euthanasia.
Islamic jurisprudence, based on convincing interpretation of the Quran, doesn't recognize the person to die voluntarily. Euthanasia or mercy killing is an act of killing, and killing is a major sin in Islam, thus forbidden. Fatwa is very important in Islamic law and Islamic jurisdiction, and it is opinion of Islamic scholar about a specific issue in the light of Al-Quran and Sunnah. In Malaysia, based on muzakarah jawatan kuasa fatwa Majlis Kebangsaan bagi hal ehwal agama Islam had discussed about euthanasia and made decision that it is prohibited. For international fatwa in Saudi Arabia, Sheikh Abdul Aziz bin Abdullah had ruled that euthanasia is un-Islamic, and he said it was against the Sharia. According to the European Council of Fatwa, Sheikh Yusuf Al-Qaradawi issued a fatwa that according to the Sharia, killing a patient suffering from illnesses is not permissible.